Let me change the thing. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Give me a minute.
I was born ready.
I just need to gather my nerves here. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the POS Podcast. We're gonna have a fun time today. Tom's not here, or he's late. I don't know. He said he would be here, but he's not here. But Race is here.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And Saber and Jim are here.
Yes, I am. And we're both here, I mean.
So we are.
Yes.
And so we are. Paleo, how are you?
I'm good.
My
It was an interesting.
I mean, this is why you're so difficult.
Is your dog being difficult?
Okay, there we go. Alright, as you were.
It is National Pet Day, so this is on brand.
It is?
Yeah, it's Twitter said so.
Oh.
Is that why you guys invited me on?
What does that say about our relationship?
Awkward.
Depends on who we're talking about.
I thought we told him that's why we had him on before.
Anyway, both Saber, Race, and I all went to a convention this past weekend. Some of you may have seen us there. We were in Chicago. We're not Chicago, but Schaumburg, I guess, which is near Chicago.
Myself, I saw the tweets about it, so I feel like I was there.
Yeah.
There in spirit.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started on that, I'm going to choose my thing for the raffle for my Patreon thing to see what movie I'm going to review at the end of the month. So I got this hat here with all the names in it.
Yep.
Well, let me see
What
that.
kind of hat was that?
Yeah, what was that?
It's
fisherman
a
hat?
Cabela's hat.
I mean, is that a regulation hat? Is it legal to do it in that hat?
I don't know.
You can see through it. Get a different hat.
Well, I folded the pieces of paper
Different
over.
hat. Different hat.
I don't have a different hat.
Oh, your fedora.
Different hat.
I don't have a fedora.
Come on, different hat or we riot.
All right.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
if the papers are folded, I think it's
They
legal.
are folded.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
All right. Let's see what it is.
I'm excited.
What is it?
Death Becomes Her. That was
Oh.
suggested by Ethan Carter. I've never seen that.
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
Have you seen it?
Yes, isn't that a Robert Zemeckis movie with Goldie Hawn, Bruce Willis, and Meryl Streep, I believe.
Oh, cool.
I think I got that right. But it has
Yeah.
groundbreaking special effects for its time. I haven't seen it in a
What
while.
movie was it, Paleo?
Death Becomes Her.
You got me all excited. I was gonna say if Paleo really wanted to use a legitimate hat.
Oh my god, that hat.
Doug Dimmadome under the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
You guys want
Are
to
you gonna wear that hat the whole time?
No, I'm not. It's
Oh.
very it doesn't transfer heat well, so it just kind of.
Neither do reptiles.
You guys want to hear the other movies that were suggested?
Sure. What were the other movies?
There are 7 others. Let's see. Transformers the movie.
Oh, hey, that's a good.
The 80s movie.
What's
Yeah.
ew. not the good Michael Bay one.
5 of them.
Underdog. That's an interesting one.
God, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah.
Haley and I, when we were doing some research for my nostalgia video, we were going through a bunch of old, there was somewhat of a nostalgia bend in the 90s and kind of in the 80s where things like Flipper, the Addams Family, what else?
Flintstones.
Oh,
Flintstones.
you know why that is because of the double shot of Addams Family and then the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Brady Bunch.
Because the Addams Family was probably the biggest hit of them, and then Brady Bunch did it, and then they all had to do it, and then it died, and then it's like the 20-year nostalgia cycle. You know what I mean? Like how
Is it actually 20 years?
Yeah, it's like I think the theory starts in the 70s because you had Happy Days and American Graffiti, both of which take place in the 50s.
That's what BoJack Horseman was talking about.
Yeah, there's Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, BoJack Horseman made a joke about how his like 50 diners were really popular in the 80s or something
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, I mean, there's some nostalgias that keep going, but it's usually this nostalgia that's new and big at the time is the one 20 years before. So like 90s is big now, and 80s was really big in the early 2000s, and 70s nostalgia.
God be
was
with
the
us.
90s and
Yeah.
80s has a lot of 60s nostalgia. So I used to actually really want to get into like nostalgia for the 60s in the 80s only. I thought that would be really cool to like dress like you were nostalgic for the 60s in the 80s, and someone looked at me like, that's too inside. Like, no one, don't do that.
Jim, what we need to do is we need to bring back the powdered wigs from the Victorian days. Seriously.
Oh, do it. You're not saying 20, you're saying 200. 200.
Yeah.
That's the new.
I'm talking about like we'll be walking with kittens and be like, saw that lady's ankle.
You want to be a dandy, basically.
Oh my, yes.
You would be. I think out of all of us, Saber would be the best dandy.
Yeah.
There's so in my neighborhood, there's something called the Tea Party. Like we all know about the Tea Party political movements, and there's a bunch of ultra conservatives who are like, well, there's one that's pretty active in my neighborhood, and they put up signs saying Tea Party meeting, on Sunday, yada yada yada. I want to get a candid camera, and I want to show up wearing like a red coat outfit with a wig and everything. Like, so we're gonna put down those pesky American rebels once and for all.
I brought the crumpets.
Merry birthday for you and me.
All right.
Can I put you down, Lemmy, please? Please?
No, you need to keep the dog.
By the way,
Yeah.
Jem, why are cats so weird?
Yeah,
Like,
Jim,
why,
I've been wondering the same
Yeah,
thing.
you have the cat wife.
you have cat wives. My cat...
Cat
and-
wives? Whoa!
My cat, at 3 a.m, I'll hear her go... I hear like a rustle or whatever, and I just hear a deep... And then she just goes... And just runs out the room.
Yeah, that. Well, you have to. Do you play with your cat every day, or?
I kick her around.
Okay. Well, how old is she?
Joke.
Or he?
I'll have to ask the grocery store we got her from.
Oh, I'm not
she's
sure.
about-
Is
she's
that a
about-
joke?
A year and a half to 2 years old.
Okay, they're just like when they're young, they get night crazies and they just like run around and they're like I have energy, blah. But then when they're older, they're like fuck this, I'm going to sleep.
Okay, good.
So that they calm down. But yeah, cats are a little they're strange creatures, but they're
How
wonderful.
did cats become pets? They are way too full of
I can
themselves.
tell
Well,
you. I can
they-
tell you.
They
Wait,
domesticated themselves, actually.
Yep, they domesticated themselves. What happened is when the invention of the farm, there was a bunch of pests that started to show up at the
Yeah,
farms,
mice
like
and
rodents, and cats just showed up, and they would eat the pest because they followed the pest, and humans thought, we'll leave a bowl of milk out, we'll take care of them, we'll pet them. That's why cats are kind of standoffish, but they're domesticated versus the dog, which is like looks at us as a pack leader. But yeah, the cats domesticate themselves. I think that's awesome.
No, it is.
No,
Oh.
that means that they just invited themselves over for dinner, and then they were like, by the way, I'm here to stay. I'll have more, thank you.
And we never got rid of
That's
them.
not awesome. Like,
Well, what's neat, I was telling Pilly about this. I watched this cool cat documentary narrated by David Attenborough,
I
where
have been so bored.
no, it was awesome actually. I loved it. It was on Reddit. They said
Really
that it was a 20-minute documentary about these cats in Rome, and these cats are the direct descendants of the cats that the Romans brought over from Egypt from back in the day. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
Huh.
I think the stream died or something.
Did it?
I bored
Yeah.
it to death.
But before
Oh no.
before it did, someone in the can they not even hear us right now?
Um,
Probably
let me
Let me
refresh
put
it.
you
See,
down.
make sure.
Good boy.
What? Go upstairs.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I probably should have interrupted.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Oh, sorry. Oh, is it bad?
It says it's offline. Hold on, let me stop streaming and then stream again.
Oh,
Imperius said the stream died.
no, it's back.
Yeah, I just fixed it.
Oh, so anyway,
Like, literally just fixed it.
somebody in the chat said, and I took a picture of it because I thought it was funny. They said, "Why does Jim get all the?" And then it said blocked. My favorite.
Can I fill in? I'm pretty sure I know what that is.
Tacos?
Given that we were talking about cats.
Tacos.
I think it's probably. I do like tacos. So it's probably.
Dear God, you guys are gonna make me hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
Oh man, tacos.
But I will.
cheese.
I will have
Dude.
tacos tomorrow. Taco
Taco
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
All right,
Yeah.
What's your favorite traditional Hawaiian dish, Race?
Yeah, what is your favorite Hawaiian dish?
Oh, favorite traditional Hawaiian dish would actually have to be the our ceremonial ham pork that we eat.
I
at
love
luau's.
ham pork.
Because luau's are what we do every day.
What's it like? So how accurate is Finding Nemo?
That was in Australia.
No,
Yeah.
it's still a legitimate question because I happen to know a
Shut up.
clownfish down the street.
Wow, Saber, that was racist.
Did they ask you if
Australian.
you've seen their son?
No, they don't. What I found really interesting about Finding Nemo is they had that one scene in it where everyone's like worshiping the mountain volcano thing, and it's actually a morning routine for us, like the
Wow.
ha he ha ho ho ho,
Shark
and it's
bait?
part of a way to the.
This is
shark bait,
illuminating.
ha, ha. Well, here's why. We oftentimes have issues with certain types of, I guess we could say, companion type people. So the way to scare them away is.
Oh,
to
you
call
mean
them
lava
ho-ho-hos.
gods?
Yes.
No, they mean homosexuals, like North Carolina.
Whoa.
Yes. All of the above. You see, it's a combo of everything. And
Wow.
when you ha ho ho ho, it's basically addressing the ho ho hos and telling them to ha away. It's Hawaiian speak. It's very difficult.
Someone in the chat said, "I like Hawaiian pizza, even though I don't think it's a native food."
It actually
It's
isn't.
almost as native as the fortune cookie is to China.
It's about as native as I am. So, fortune cookies aren't native to China.
No,
Oh,
that is definitely an American thing.
Do you guys want to hear the rest of the movies?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We were so
That was a
into
big
killing.
sidetrack.
We were really into killing time. It was like a good bit.
Go on, Paleo.
All right, yeah, and it killed the stream. Rubber, which that was suggested from. the
Wow,
last
how
one, too.
exciting!
Okay, wait. Have you guys seen Rubber?
Yeah,
I
I've
have.
seen it.
Saber, have you seen Rubber?
With Robin Williams, yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
No, that's
Very
Flubber.
Good. Very good. May I just give you like my rendition of what Rubber is if you don't know?
Yeah,
Okay.
do it.
Okay. Rubber is, first off, it's a masterpiece. It's a movie unlike any other I've ever seen before because I've never seen a telekinetic tire go around blowing up animals before. It's incredible. That's a movie that you watch and you just wonder what happened to the first half of the movie while you're watching the second half, and during the first half of the movie you're wondering why am I watching this and who came up with this and what were they on. It's a brilliant film. I saw it with Tommy, so it was actually not Oliver, not Tommy Oliver, but my racing buddy Tommy, and I learned a lot about tires that day. I'm not kidding, by the way. That's entirely
Yeah,
what
that's what the movie's about.
Entirely.
It's true.
I'm still not kidding. That's what the movie's about.
Yeah.
He's not kidding.
Oliver and Company, which was suggested by Imperius.
Oh.
Tommy Oliver and Company. That's a good movie.
Yeah, he also just suggested that last time. Psycho.
Remake or original?
I'm assuming original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a stupid thing to say. I'm
Someone
sorry.
remade it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
there was a remake.
Let's not even talk about it. Let's just move on. It's too sad.
Should have just made a sequel.
They did
Oh.
in the
Should've made
80s.
a prequel.
I think they did that too.
Um,
That's Bates Motel.
oh yeah, that's right. That's what Base Motel is.
Should have made an animated version. God.
You beat me. You finally beat me.
Then the last two here are Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, which I have seen.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the Pokemon movies.
It was such a genuine, like, oh, okay, Jim. Like, you were really excited to know that you'd already seen that movie. Okay.
And then Indian in the Cupboard, which I
Oh my
remember.
gosh.
I remember seeing when I was little.
And now we're going to dice our Indian. Indian in the Cupboard. Is that like a spoof movie?
That's how cupboard is spelled? Oh my god!
It sounded like you said cutboard, though.
You know what's funny?
No, I said cupboard.
Whoever suggested that is like, it's actually a really smart art movie called Indian and the Cupboard, not Indian in the Cupboard. Oh.
I didn't know that's how cupboard was spelled. Because every time I see that word, I say cupboard.
Indian in the Cupboard is a movie that it has like, it's one of those movies that if you hear one track of the soundtrack, you're like, this actually sounds really good. But it's funny because you realize that throughout the whole movie, it's literally just the same thing replaying the whole time. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's still pretty good. It's just a little bit overused.
Look, scores are expensive, all right? So...
Excuse me, are you taking this movie seriously or not? Because Indian in the Cupboard happened to be one of the greatest films of little Indian men of all time.
Look, I saw that shit in theaters, so you know, I supported the movie.
Good. Let's see how it did in the box. I gotta see this box.
It didn't do well. It didn't. Do well.
Spoilers. Jeez.
Spoilers, my box office mojo search was going to be epic.
You know what movie I watched the other day? And I'm like, this movie was actually really decent for the time. It's a 1998 film made by Disney called Mighty Joe Young.
I know that one.
And it's actually like, graphics-wise, for 1998, you could tell that when they made it, they did everything within like their power of making it look good. So they didn't do anything that was like, oh, that's obviously fake. And I was really impressed with it, only to find out that movie cost $90 million to make, and they brought in $50 million in the box office. So I don't think we're going to be seeing a sequel.
Actually, well, have you seen the original from the 50s?
No, I haven't. You mean King Kong?
No. Well... Even the original is a ripoff of King Kong. But because that movie bombed, Peter Jackson was trying to get his original King Kong made, and it bombed, and then he couldn't get King Kong made, so then he made Lord of the Rings first instead of King Kong.
Yay!
Good.
Wow, you know how good Indian in the Cupboard did?
How?
It brought in $35 million, but they were too ashamed to admit how much the production budget was, so nobody knows how much it actually cost to make the movie.
Sounds like Blizzard with their current like WoW subscriptions.
Oh my god!
How much y'all making?
All right, you guys want to talk about the convention we went to?
Sure.
Yeah. So we saw Zootopia at the.
How was it?
It was so good. You were with me.
I had a slushie.
You did have a slushie.
At that nice theater.
Great.
Yeah, with you said there's a couple of theaters near you like that.
Yes, there are.
Yeah. If I was near one, I would go so often.
I see, if I went, I would fall asleep, and I'd be like, what happened? Ah, shit.
Then, like, your reviews will be like, so I think this is what happened.
It'd be like if my mom did reviews of movies. She sleeps through everything.
I would just have to see it again and be like, God damn it, I have to see fucking something's bad.
That was a great experience. I loved it. I've never been in a theater like that before. And we were in the front row, and we thought, oh, this is going to be miserable. When we got there, we looked at the theater, like, it's one of these kinds of theaters.
Yeah, with all recliners and everything. It's great.
I haven't been to a theater with my friends in forever, so I got me a big old slushie, and I'm just...
It was a good time.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Jim, we wish you were there.
No, I need to go. What's the Baltimore one?
You should go. Seriously, that's going to be...
The Baltimore one's in July. Let's see.
Dude, if Jim goes, Paleo, you got to go.
Yeah, I got to go if Jim goes.
Let's see if Zootopia is still playing in July.
I would like to do it.
Us.
What convention is it?
It's BronyCon. It's the biggest one.
Oh, okay.
In the world,
the only part that I think would be weird is that like I've never watched MLP.
No
You
one
wouldn't be
cares.
the only one.
No one cares. No one
You
cares.
wouldn't be the only person there. That there's a lot of people that are at that convention. I mean, most of them are parents, but still, there's a lot of people
Okay.
there.
It doesn't matter. You just show up and
I'm
hang
sure-
with us. But it
I'm
doesn't
sure
matter.
They'll be the same age as me, so we can just talk about
Yeah,
stuff.
it's July 8th to 10th.
Jim will be in the audience. They're doing a panel, and there's a bunch of little girls jumping up and down their seats. He's just sitting there like, shouldn't have gone.
Is
Well,
it
it's-
hard to switch off the reviewer in you guys sometimes? Like Jim, I know you make like review videos and stuff, but is it ever hard to just be like, I want to just enjoy this movie and not think about it in a reviewing perspective?
I don't know. I feel like it's hard to turn that off, but sometimes I'll watch it. I'll watch something and know I'm not reviewing it, and I won't be thinking about it as much if I'm just watching it for fun. But then part of me will go, "Oh, well, that shot there, that might mean," or like, "I don't think this performance was again." And then it'll just like start. But I guess like it kind of, if I'm not doing a review of it, I can kind of let it go. But other times it's like. It's most of the time hard to, but I don't mind it because that's part of me seeing movies. Has always been me talking about them, I guess. So I guess that's part of me enjoying them. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would compare it to I'm a racing announcer, do videos and all that, and when I'm at a race, and just as a fan, just sitting in the stands, it's hard for me to not jump into announcer mode from time to time. Like with my friend, I'll be sitting with me like, "Oh, 3 wide out of turn 2," and I'm like, "No one can hear me, but it's happening."
What kind of racing do you announce?
Stock cars,
Oh, okay,
local stock car racing. So a bunch of junkers and then some nicer cars that guys put a lot of money, time, and blood, sweat, and tears into. Mostly tears. So
cool.
yeah.
Mostly tears.
yeah.
I like that.
But it's
No,
a
that's
passion.
cool.
It's what I've done since I was. I've been going to the track since before I knew what going anywhere meant. So yeah.
Oh no, that's cool. That sounds like a cool job.
Thank you.
Who do y'all think would win a fight? Okay.
Okay, hit me with it. I'm ready.
Batman or Superman? You know they should
No,
make a
no,
movie
no.
about that.
Or maybe Godzilla versus King Kong. Or Trump versus Clinton. I don't know.
Who would win in a fight?
Which Clinton?
Which Trump?
All right, so
Are you saying Ivanka versus Chelsea? Because I think Chelsea would win.
I don't know who belongs to who. Vodka.
I don't drink alcohol. The guy who stood up to the Joker in The Dark Knight versus the guy who stood up to Loki in the Avengers.
Wow.
They're both old, so that's a tough one. See, I'm
Doesn't
gonna
one
say,
have an umbrella? I vote for the umbrella guy.
I mean, the guy who stood up to Loki, he definitely has bigger balls than the guy who stuck up to the Joker. You know.
Yeah. Well, the guy who was wasn't Loki like floating around when shooting lasers? Like that's kind of scary.
No, he was like he told everyone to kneel and they did, and this guy was like, "No, I will not kneel. When men pretend to be gods, that's when something or something." And then Captain America shows up and he goes, "You know, the last time a guy came, something, we had a disagreement, and I'm Captain America. I've got perfect body, and I make Jim sad because he'll never look like me." And stuff. I think all that was in the dialogue. It was super weird. You guys
That's that
remember?
part when he looked at the screen and said Jim, and then he started like twerking his butt a bit. That was really weird.
I mean, you probably saw that and you didn't know me when you saw it, and you were like, "Wow, who's this Jim guy?" Captain America keeps making fun of him. It's like really fucking weird.
How do you guys think that movie's gonna do? The new one.
What, Civil War?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's gonna be.
I actually bought
Right.
my ticket today. So.
Oh.
Dude, I can't wait to see it. I'm actually super excited to see it.
So the premiere is tomorrow, so I think we're gonna start to get wind of.
What, the red carpet premiere?
Yeah, which is super. You're probably like, wait, that's way too early.
Yeah, that's really early.
Yeah.
See, at first you're like, that's strange. That's a good sign because they held Batman and Superman off till like the week before to premiere that. If they're premiering early, that's a very good sign because they're confident that it's good.
Well, I mean, let's face it. They have a pretty good track record to stand on.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I'm just saying that the way they're doing it makes me feel very confident.
Me too. I mean, they have Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm curious how they're going to get it all to work together. But I have more confidence in them than I do.
Isn't Ant-Man in the movie?
Yes, he is. Everybody's in it except for
Ant-Man!
Ant-Man!
I really hope, like, this is just like the terrible person in me. I hope Spider-Man shows up for 3 seconds, goes, "What's up, guys?" and leaves, and everyone's just like, "What?"
No,
Hey everyone, then just goes,
like
goes
tearing
off.
up the theater. Just, ah!
The people in the audience are just like, that was amazing! Because they're like tearing the shit.
Well, he goes, "What's
They're
up,
crying,
guys?"
like, throwing their babies at the screen.
What? They go, "What's up, guys?" And then Thor's hammer hits him, and he flies off screen, and you never see
While
him.
he's flying off screen, his mask falls off, and when you see Jim, and he hits the ground, it's
Saber,
like,
I told you not to tell people that. I signed a
Jim's
confidentiality
this-
agreement.
I don't care. You shouldn't have told me. Jim's the new Spider-Man.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
It's interesting to me though. Like I'll be curious to see how that movie all comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chicago.
Oh yeah,
That was-
Utopia was great.
Yeah.
We're getting distracted tonight. Yeah, it was great. We got to see our friends, get to do panels, get to eat deep dish pizza, eat Chicago style hot dogs. It was great.
And it was windy and it snowed on Saturday.
Yes,
It snowed out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of snow.
And then it
And
was
we
gone.
were idiots and ran out in the snow, and then
Ah!
we were such Southerners at that moment. Everyone's like, they don't see snow ever.
Never. I've never heard of a California
California!
calls himself a Southerner.
I'm from Southern California. I mean, I can see Mexico from my house. I feel like I'm south enough.
It's still Californian though.
Can you actually see Mexico from your house?
If I eat my carrots.
You can if you live in San Diego.
No. Saber.
California was great. I mean,
Chicago.
Chicago was great. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the food was a highlight. The people were great, and the panels I thought went well.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a bunch of different panels.
Yeah, I still need to post the last vlog. I'm waiting for all the pictures to come in from the convention.
Oh.
So once they do, I have the access, guys. I got the access.
My man.
Access.
Yeah.
All right, so what's next on the agenda? Tonight's been I feel like I've been contributing to a lot of distractions tonight.
Oh, I already know who's throwing this off. It's Jim.
All right.
Jim.
So,
Wow.
this is something only Jim and I have seen, but it's a very interesting kind of movie. It just Saber just.
How do you know I haven't seen it?
I don't know. Have you? Have you seen Hardcore Henry?
No, you've got.
Okay. No, come back.
That was funny. Okay, anyway.
Right,
Hardcore.
that's the TF2 one, right?
What the first person shooter movie
Yeah.
thing? Yeah.
What do you want to go first? You haven't done a review yet, have
No, I
you?
haven't posted my
Okay.
review. I was going to record a review this weekend, but then stuff came up with doing stuff with family, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, it was pretty
Yeah.
neat.
No, it was. I think a lot of what I liked. I mean, I posted a review, but I liked how it takes video game visual language into
Yeah.
movies.
And
That was kind of
video game logic, too.
yeah,
a
a
lot
lot like
Yeah.
there's a part where they're in a whorehouse that feels right out of a video game when he's
Yeah.
walking around. I mean, when it's first person shooter, it's literally like they're holding a gun up to the camera, just like you're watching first person shooters or playing a first person shooter. Sorry, and it really they had a lot of fun with it, but I think mostly because it was a dumb. It was like a dumb, fun action movie with a cool, kind of cool gimmick behind it. Made it a lot of fun.
Did it
And
get old?
I didn't get sick of it
The-
because it did so many random stuff, and Sharto Copley plays like 20 different people, and
Yeah.
there's all sorts of crazy shit going on, you know.
And the thing I like what it did is that it does what a lot of video games do, is that it has like an intense action sequence and then it has a break. And that's what a lot of video games do, where they have like, long sections of like nonstop action, and then there's a break where you calm down a little bit, and then nonstop action again.
I mean, I think it'll probably be this is definitely the year movies are kind of mixing with video games, with Warcraft and Ratchet and Clank and stuff, but this is the one that like almost is definitely part of that, because it's like found a way
You
to
forgot Angry Birds.
Oh yeah, Angry
you're
Birds
right.
too.
You're right.
Yeah.
Angry Birds. But yeah, this one you're kind of seeing more of the ideas and people who play video games making movies. So it does kind of make me think that most people who got into kind of the stories that are in action movies got into them because of video games first. Because like you were able to play Streets of Rage before you're able to see a dumb action movie. You know, so I think that's. If you're making a movie of that, you're going to use the stuff you learned first. So it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It was cool.
A lot of FPSs I would compare this movie to would be stuff like Half-Life or Far Cry, or stuff BioShock even a little bit. As far as like how it progresses. And there's actually a really interesting thing that happens near the end. The end is sort of like the end of the No Mercy campaign on Left 4 Dead, and where it's like on top of a building, and then the guy even takes adrenaline, and I thought that was interesting. It was like, that's a video game thing.
Grabbing pills.
Yeah.
Need a dispenser.
And but in the movie they also do things where it's like, why can't you do this in a video game? Like at one point he grabs like just shards of glass and puts it in the guy's eye. Whereas, like, you can't really do that in many video games, where you just, like, use anything around you.
Yeah.
So they take advantage of that, too.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's if you just want to see a dumb action movie with a lot of violence, it's a damn good choice.
Yeah.
On just a surface level, I like watching things explode and blood and stuff.
Yeah, and also the score is very video game-like. The way the score was.
But this is also this director's thing. He's made a couple things like that. Apparently, he made some short films like this as well.
Are we going to talk about the Rogue One trailer, by the way, Paleo?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that next.
That's true.
Cool.
So
Excellent.
let's do that.
Yes, okay. Jim, I want to know what you thought.
Oh,
before you answer, right? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm calling out a couple of things here. That girl.
What are you calling out?
Is Phasma.
What? No.
From Emperor's New Groove.
Okay, although no. Okay, that doesn't work at all.
Let's go, bro.
She would have to be like 60 years old in Force Awakens.
Bro, you got a helmet, bro. We're going on, bro.
I will look. I'll give you. Can I? Okay, I'll give you points for. I'll give you points for not saying it's Rey's mom. You deserve points for that.
Who's been saying that?
Like everybody's been saying she's Rey's mom.
Oh.
Like
I've been saying that she looks too similar to Rey as far as in the trailer.
She's
like
got the
Frozen.
Jennifer.
They all look the same.
They do.
Yeah.
They got the Jennifer Lawrence teeth going on.
Oh my god.
Well,
they don't talk about like I'll screen cap. I swear. There's that thing where I've noticed this. A lot of recent female actresses who are like the main characters.
Every actress is Jennifer Lawrence.
It's just weird. It's just they got that little like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just weird, and it bothers me.
I think
like
kind of covered it for me. I get you.
The critically acclaimed Saber Spark, you're being so valued. What's your opinion on this movie?
We should see it.
All right, Jim, go on. What do you have to say?
Oh, what about what I thought of the trailer? Or?
Yes.
I liked it a lot. Sorry. I like
Lock the door, Jim. It's Lucas.
No, that was one of my cats. No, oh boy. I liked it a lot. I think it was cool because it melded like 70s it obviously takes place right before A New Hope. And when Ben Mendelsohn is wearing that white cape, that feels very 70s, but all the action stuff felt very now. So it's a good mixing of current action stuff with 70s stuff. And it made me excited because I don't feel like this is the best director for this. It's the guy who did Godzilla, 2014
Yes, you're right.
Godzilla. And the one thing
not that's a lot of fish, Godzilla.
yeah, that's yeah. So when I brought this up to someone and they said it was a statement that destroyed all their dreams for this movie, it was like, hey, Godzilla had a cool trailer too, you guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it did have a cool trailer.
I mean,
Here's the thing, though, is
I
I
mean,
don't
look,
know.
I'm for it being good. I'm not against
Yeah.
it being good. I would like it to be good. I'm just
well,
saying.
I liked Godzilla, and as one of the 7 people who did, I am.
Do you
very-
guys meet? Do you guys meet up every couple days? The 7 of you.
Well, we are currently on the hunt for this footage from this convenience store of this moth, and we will find it, Jim. We will find it.
Okay. All right.
But-
cool.
Well, okay, a couple of things. And okay, Mon Mothma. Speaking with moths.
Oh no, that was great.
She was great. I honestly thought, I'm like, there's no way I can be the same actress. There's no way. They nailed it. I thought that was Kate Blanchett or Blanket. I think that's Galadriel.
No, it was Kate Blanket. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Kate Blanchett though, but it was Kate Blanket.
Was it the lady who's Lady Galadriel in Lord of the Rings?
No, it's not her.
Okay, I thought it was. So that looked cool. The AT-ATs looked really cool. The
Yeah, I like that.
the Star Destroyers when they see the Death Star having the
Oh,
ditch.
that was a cool shot when you think it's just space and then it moves
Yeah.
and you see the Death Star. That was cool. It had a lot of. I mean, I was surprised how epic it is. I'm very curious what the public's reaction to it is because a lot of what they want to do with Star Wars has, like, they've obviously set up people will see the episode movies. Like they got
Yes.
that to work. Now they have to get people to come to see the side movies.
Which
And
I
that's-
mean, Star Wars.
I'm excited
Huge.
for, and you're excited for, and I think a lot of people are, but I think your average person who it's Christmas time, they want to see one of those Star Wars movies, and they're going to go and be like, where's Kylo Ren? I don't understand. What's going on? I think that's going to be difficult.
You're right. Where's the Darth Vaders?
Yeah, what?
I'm still asking that about the
Well-
last
well, Darth-
movie that
Darth
came
Va-
out.
Vader
Where was
might make-
Garth?
Darth
Like
Va-
pod racing.
I mean, Darth Vader might make a little cameo in Rogue One, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the rumor that Darth Vader's in it. Yeah.
Just leans his head in.
Yeah, he just leans in.
The Death starts blowing up. Ugh. By the way, so I had a nerd attack, okay? So when I saw the Star Destroyers near the Death Star when it was being completed, and I asked this to Paleo, I said, why was the Imperial fleet not there during the attack on Yavin or whatever? Where were they?
Well,
And-
I think. Oh,
Good.
were you going to answer it?
I have a theory, but I'm going to
No,
go.
what's your theory first? Sorry.
All right, so my theory is this: that you have this space station that is supposed to be the ultimate weapon. I mean, this thing is a fleet in and of itself. To have another fleet there seem redundant, and it's almost like we are kind of scared. No. This thing, we just put a quadrillion dollar. Let it go. It'll be fine. They can't harm it. There's no way.
No, I agree.
And that's what I thought, and that's why, like, it was hubris that was ultimately their downfall, because they really had no idea that the rebels had fighters, and even if they did, they never thought, what are the chances of this thing actually like, it makes me actually more like appreciative of the Empire and how they're like, fuck, like, we just
Yeah.
lost everything.
Yeah.
It's like no kidding, like, I don't know, Belgium blowing up the United States, and we're like, how do they do that?
That was a weird choice.
I don't know. I'm trying to I don't know,
Well,
Sweden or,
I mean,
Switzerland or something. It's like,
I was thinking that the reason that there weren't more, because I rewatched New Hope recently was because the Death Star is always moving, and so since it's probably moving it probably has a gravitational field around it. You probably can't have many ships, like big ships, around it while it's moving. Whereas in Jedi, that Death Star obviously can't because it's not finished. So
that was also a huge trap where they figured because when the rebellion won at the Battle of Yavin, that's when the rest of the galaxy was like, okay, maybe we can put some faith in some resources into the rebellion. They're gaining momentum. They blew up the Death Star. That's pretty awesome. And I guess in the second one, when the rebellion finally showed up, they're like, we are going to end this now. What are the chances of them blowing it up No! Well, it won't happen a third. No! Stop building these things! The next Star Wars movie? Yeah. Well, this one's the size of the galaxy. It feeds off of other galaxies. They're not going to blow this one up.
So I have one question.
Go on.
What are you guys talking about?
Zootopia.
Star Wars. I was going to mention something that somebody said in the chat from Once Please 16. Says, if my brother's any indication, Jem's right. He can't comprehend the fact that this movie isn't Episode 8.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that'll be, but I think for most of us who grew up reading the books and the comics, who are really into Star Wars, this is kind of a Star Wars movie we always thought was possible, but never happened. And I think that's the cool thing about Star Wars is when I was even watching, again, when I watched the original, is that there's like so much world building in that first movie, and you can be like, holy shit, that guy's got a story, that guy's got a story, the restaurant has a story, and you just imagine like what all that could be. And the fact that we're just getting a movie just about, in the opening crawl of the original, it said, people stole these plans, and it's like a sentence, and that's being a movie itself is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The weird thing is I wasn't like super pumped the way I was for episode 7. I'm like, this is a continuation of the story, but I'll still see it regardless. I'll be like, okay, this is gonna be good. I'm more curious if anything else. I'm excited, but I'm more curious to see, like, okay, what are you going to do with this?
Yeah, I actually kind of wish, and I think I've probably said this on here before, that the guy who's directing Suicide Squad was doing Rogue One. Because that's more in his wheelhouse. Like, I know he could do a good Rogue One, David Ayer. Because he did things like Fury and Sabotage, which are movies about whole groups that are good at utilizing the whole group. And I'm not as sure about this guy. I have no problems with that movie except for the director I have apprehension about. But everything else I think is pretty cool. I mean, the trailer looks awesome. It's definitely the movie I'm excited for in the fall. That's the weird thing is, like, there's a new Harry Potter prequel, and I love those movies, and I'm not sure about that one, and I'm not sure about the Star Wars movie. It's a weird fall,
When does the Harry Potter one come out?
Well, I thought it was winter.
November. No, it's November, I think.
Huh.
Like around Thanksgiving.
What's it? Okay, weird.
Fantastic
all these
Beasts.
movies. I'm losing track of what, like, all these spin-off movies. I'm like, what?
It's interesting, and I'm really excited about doing this nostalgia video here later this month or next month, because I really feel that, like, I don't know. I mean, Jim, do you feel like Hollywood's become a little bit less creative, or has this always been the case for a while?
I mean, with the news that Warner Brothers said in the past week, the report is, they didn't say it officially, that they're probably going to focus on less original movies and focus more on Lego movies and Harry Potter movies and DC movies. I think in some ways, yes, but in other ways, there are more creative. There are independent movies and a lot of stuff going on, video on demand and such. It's just nobody's talking about that stuff at all. So it's there. It's just like, if you go to a movie site, all the stories are going to be Suicide Squad as a new trailer, and did you hear this, what Warner Brothers said, and this, and it's nothing about these smaller movies. So it's there, it just gets no attention whatsoever.
Well, I mean, Cloverfield Lane, that was brand spanking new, even though it depended on the Cloverfield name.
See, that's why they put it in there, because they knew it would have made like half. It probably would have made 10% of what it made now if it had been Valencia. So,
What?
I think that's the problem.
Valencia?
Oh, it was originally called Valencia. Sorry,
Okay.
Originally, before they changed it to. But
Wait, isn't that a town in California?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
but
It's where Six Flags is.
Oh.
And so
Well,
that's
that's what I was
like
like-
good then. That's close to you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Be careful in the near future. There might be
There might be a
there might be
craze- Yeah.
John Goodman might be nearby.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually think he lives out here, but besides that.
Well, what's funny though
I'm
is
not kidding.
last night I watched We're Back, a dinosaur thing on Netflix.
Oh my god, you
and-
did? Wait, you watched it
did.
without me?
Yeah, I should have watched it with you, but I was in bed and I watched it, and what's so weird is I watched that movie so much as a kid. Like I quoted it. I was like I never learned another language, but I did acquire this knowledge of every single obscure line from We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, and that's worth putting on my LinkedIn profile.
I would say any line from We're Back, a Dinosaur Story is an obscure line.
We're back the clock to the dawn of time when there were.
It's funny how you saw a John Good film. I saw a John Goodman film last night as well.
What'd you watch?
I watched Revenge of the Nerds. I didn't even know he was in it.
You said that
He's
movie
in that?
was. You said last time that was a movie that you felt like would not get away nowadays.
No, it is it's a raunchy movie in the way that like a lot of the jokes I make are so politically incorrect that it's semi refreshing, but it's like
Which movie?
Revenge of the Nerds. It was made in 1984.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, no, the whole thing with the girl, that part gets called out a lot towards the end.
What happened?
Where they basically I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so you can.
I can elaborate on what happened, and then you can call it whatever you want.
Maybe you can describe it because I'll mess it up. So you should.
The way you're talking
Well,
about it was just say it.
Thank you, Saber. I will.
Say
it. I'm assuming this is the scene you're talking about. Is that there's a scene near the end where one of our, I guess, protagonists is dressed up already like this girl's boyfriend. And so then they head out to this tent. He puts this mask on, and he pretends that he's the boyfriend. And they have sex. And then at the end, she's like, "Oh my God, you were so good. Oh, you're not my boyfriend. This is great. I'll just." She was actually happy.
That's
in a very big form. That would be a problem. But the scene I called out in it was there was a scene where one of the nerds is this like young 12-year-old boy who is in college because he's really smart, and he goes to this one house and some 50-year-old woman answers the door, and she's like, "Oh, you'd have the bedroom by mine," and she's like kind of like
Seductive?
really, yeah, and I'm just like, wow. That's creepy. It's intended to be creepy, but I'm just like wow. Huh. So, yeah, I mean, there's scenes in that movie. I mean, again, with your protagonist, at one point they set up a bunch of security cameras around the building to spy on all the women in their dorm rooms. So, it's a very raunchy. It's your typical '80s college movie, though. Like this happens. The 80s were weird, man.
They were.
They were weird.
Lots of Reagan. Anyway.
Oregano. I love oregano.
So, speaking about nostalgia earlier and whether it's ruining entertainment, let's talk about the Powerpuff Girl reboot.
Jim, have you watched it yet?
I've watched 2 episodes, and that was
one?
That's enough.
Yeah, I watched both ones that have to do with Buttercup, and I was like, is this whole show is Buttercup? What's going on? It's weird.
Fluttershy.
It's just, I just don't. That show is really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, does anyone? How about this? Let's someone say something nice about it.
I can.
Okay, I would like to hear it. I'm curious.
Because I'm gonna make a video about this, and I know Pale's gonna do one as well.
Dear
So-
God, what is that? Oh, it's a cat.
What?
Oh my God, Jim. I just see this tail show up behind you, and I'm halfway through it right now. I'm watching the original The Thing, and I was like, you're gonna die! Oh, it's a cat. Okay.
Hey.
Hi.
She waved.
Very good.
Anyway.
So, cool intro. They brought back some of the old VAs. The new VAs aren't that bad. I still know
they're lacking direction. That's the thing.
That's true. Trust me, there's a mountain load of bad stuff. But you know this. We agree. We talk about this stuff. I like Bubbles, her voice. I don't like the character. I like Buttercup, the character, kind of. And I even like her voice a bit. Like you said, she's not raspy enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's deep, but it's not raspy. I love the monster designs. The monsters are pretty cool looking. That's about it so far. But man, what did they do wrong? Hold on, I got a list.
He's got a list.
Yeah, let me find it.
Did you generally like the new one or no?
Here's the thing. I always gotta be careful because I feel like Paleo's the brilliant person, and I kind of piggyback on his ideas. So most of these I feel like I thoughts are Paleo's, but I'm not sure who said this or not. It's Race, your camera froze. You look super serious.
I think was it my camera or your camera that froze? Because I can't see you, but I can see them.
You look so serious.
Yeah, it did freeze.
Well, I am serious. We're talking about the Powerpuff Girls, which I've only seen one clip of.
Oh, there you go.
It's and this is my guess. And okay, so because Paleo told me Teen Titan Go is the most popular or most successful show on Cartoon Network.
Well, it's your new favorite show.
Yeah, like they say, every day.
Yeah, it's your new favorite show.
It's not a bad show, but the thing is, it's not the Teen Titans I grew up with. The same way that this Powerpuff Girls is not the Powerpuff Girls I grew up with. And I feel like they looked at Teen Titans Go and said, take Powerpuff Girls and make something like this. And that's what they're doing. And they have some of those, callbacks to the old show, kind of, but it's not. They're not superheroes fighting crime. They're a bunch of girls in these weird slice of life episodes with monsters that might be in there so often. And some of the jokes though, some of the jokes are pretty good. Like there's an Uber joke. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
But but one good joke does not redeem a TV show. Like there's too much messed up.
That episode in particular is one that I think about quite a bit because it's one that has just too many plot lines going on in one episode. It has she joins the roller derby girls. It has also the thing with more bucks, also the Uber joke, and then a giant monster. And it's like the old ones had just one idea per cartoon.
Yeah, the thing is
executed really well.
Yeah, the old cartoon, like a lot of older cartoons like Cartoon Network, were storyboard driven. This doesn't seem storyboard driven.
Well, Paleo said that he's the one who said that the pacing is way too quick.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is way too quick. I agree with that. It's hard to concentrate on it because you're even Steven Universe or regular show, they have a central idea to each episode, and this one it feels like they kind of are doing that, but they break away from it so often. It's hard to follow.
You know what the thing is, because since you brought up regular show, this is the Powerpuff Girls 2016 is trying to be Breadwinners, which was trying to be regular show.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because they have those things where they do the whisper thing for an item or something. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, what's weird to me is thank God Mojo, and you also made this observation, Paleo, that a lot of the old VAs need some practice.
Yeah. They don't sound like their old self.
And the professor just has a rounded chin. It's not even. It's supposed to be 90-degree angle.
He's not as rectangle as he was.
What else was there? Mojo. At least he sounds the same. God bless.
Yeah.
And Palo said that the voice of Princess is one of the writers from the show, which I'm that's kind of greedy.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think they didn't come up with a good enough reason to bring it back, and they just did it in a very marketable way. And
the thing is they
Professor Plutonium, Paleo, remember that?
Oh my God, that's right.
Tell them.
They do say Professor Plutonium, and this little this little showcase of the toys that they're bringing out.
Yeah.
Like the guy like showcasing the toys says like Professor Plutonium instead of Utonium.
Like I want to throw up.
Yeah.
I mean the thing is the Powerpuff Girls makes a lot of money in merchandise.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it did. The Powerpuff Girls originally didn't have a lot of merchandise. It was only after the show became successful that it had a lot of merchandise. This is going the opposite way.
Yeah, I mean it's also that there's a lot of people who we're talking about the show, but a lot of the people who are going to buy iPhone cases and T-shirts aren't going to watch this show.
Right.
And that's kind of essentially the biggest problem with it. Is that to them they just want another thing to play like Teen Titans and take up time because they want it's also like Steven Universe and Adventure Time have continuing stories and you kind of have to know what's going on and they probably want another show where you can just pop in an episode have like 40 maybe not 40 but like 2 hours of Powerpuff Girls and then 2 hours of Teen Titans Go and then Gumball and not have to worry about people can because Steven Universe doesn't play well after it airs.
Yeah, it doesn't do well on reruns. I don't think.
Yeah, so I think this is a show that they want to play well in reruns, but particularly so they can sell a bunch of crap. So
I'm bummed out because why did they have to take a show that was so dear to our childhood and just turn it upside down?
No, I don't think this really works because it's gotten rejected. Almost everyone I've talked to hates it. And it's universally being panned. So here's
the weird part is if I was a kid today, if I was a 12-year-old boy and I thought, I have the knowledge of the old Powerpuff Girls and I watched this, I don't think I'd hate it. I'd be like, oh, it's okay, it's all right, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're banking on. I think they're like, hey, old fans, don't care. All right.
Well, it's not.
Maybe some of y'all might come back. We don't care. It's this new audience, the ones where you look at the Cartoon Network commercials. Little vertical webcams. They're like, Teen Titans Go. Who's your favorite character?
Is there a way to submit those? Because I would always like them to have one of those. And there's a ton of like kids, and then there's me going like, yeah, regular show. Your mom.
No. You've got to do it with like a monotone where he's like, hey, Buttercup, I love Blossom, Gumbo. Mordecai.
But see, they do not want people to know we watch Cartoon Network. They just
they don't want to know. They don't want to know adults watch Cartoon Network, even though they have an adult section later in the night.
Yeah.
Some kids should try, or some adults should try to dress up as a kid and like get in there, like, oh, kid.
Like because I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but I'm pretty sure the reason that they made Adult Swim is because there were so many adults watching Cartoon Network.
Well, I think it's also because they had so much programming that, like, when Space Ghost used to come on, it would come on and be like, it's Thursday at 9:30.
Yeah.
And it would, or like, let's air the next one on Tuesday at 8:17 or something. It was like weird. So this just, all those shows they wanted to develop got to be in their own thing. I think that's probably why it happened.
Yeah.
Sorry to shit on that theory.
No,
I don't
know how like
Girls.
I don't know how like Adult Swim really came about.
It was because they had Brack Show and they had.
I remember seeing that before Adult Swim happened.
Yeah, and they could buy home movies, and it just kind of came together because they had enough stuff that they're like, we need a home for that, and that's kind of what happened. So
what's that? What's next, Paleo?
Yeah, what's the next?
Let's go ahead and go to Q&A. So, if you guys want to take a break real quick before we do Q&A, let me put the thing up here. Okay, so if you want to ask questions, there are Twitter handles right there. Let me remove Tom since he's not here.
He starts answering the questions.
And we'll be right back if you guys need to go to the bathroom or get a drink or something.
Do you? Does anyone?
I do. So, be right back.
Oh, wow. Well then.
So that video has officially passed 50, by the way.
Nice.
Wait, what video?
53. Oh, I made a Zootopia versus Frozen video.
Oh, yeah? Those aren't very comparable, are they? Well, I guess I will have to watch this video.
Haven't watched the video, have you?
No,
sorry. It's funny.
Sorry, that was a mean thing to say. I'm sorry.
Jesus. They're not comparable in that they're animated films made by the same company.
No. What Jim means is that like they're one's a princess film, one's for furries.
Excuse me. I don't need to know what Jim has to say. I will address him myself. Sir, no, it's funny because there's a bunch of comments on this video.
We don't want no trouble, man.
No, I'm not against it. I just
it's a box office video, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I want to watch this because I will watch it later.
Thank you, Jim.
But I find that it sounds interesting. But because so many times when I see a Disney movie, someone just arbitrarily throws out like, well, it's not better than Lion King, and I'm like, what? I'm watching Big Hero 6. Why are you even bringing that up? Like, I don't go into Zootopia and go, well, it's not going to be better than Dumbo. Suck it. I don't know. But if you have like actual evidence other than I grew up with this, fuck you. How about that? But I guess you didn't grow up with Zootopia. Unless you did, which is amazing that you grew up this.
I felt like I grew up with Zootopia. I aged many years in the grand scheme, in a good way.
So I've heard through the Twitters, through the Twittersphere, that you say Zootopia is the greatest movie ever. I
do, but that's in my opinion. You don't. I mean, I'm not stating it.
No, that's fine. It's a good movie. I was just curious if that was true. Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was an exaggeration or something.
No, Zootopia is my all-time favorite movie I've ever seen ever.
Really? So you feel like that's definitely it?
Oh no doubt. I've never seen a movie prior to Zootopia. I've never seen a movie more than twice in theaters. I'm going to be seeing it for an 8th time on Tuesday.
Whoa! Damn, son.
Which is kind of funny because Saber, if the BabsCon thing works out, that'll actually be my 10th viewing. So
you're gonna see it before BabsCon a few more times. I know you will.
How much money you spent on this movie? Do you know?
I don't know. One ticket was $18. I'm just on movie tickets. It's
Paleo's face says it all. Paleo's like,
wait, was that at the El Capitan?
His face is frozen, isn't it? Or it is for me. Yes, it was at the El Capitan.
So that makes sense for $18 then.
Is the El Capitan a cool theater? Because I've never been there.
It is. It's cool because first off, it's like, it's the historic El Capitan Theater, but it's kind of like, it's weird. It's kind of like going to if there was a movie theater in Disneyland. Like when you walk in, everyone has their cast member badges that you see at the Disneyland parks. Uh-huh. And so I walked in, I was like, whoa, this is weird. And it's cool because they have a couple of things, but like, you're sitting in it and going, oh, this is that theater that you hear about, it's the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. So it was cool. It was worth going to. I got to see an actual Finnick fox and a sloth.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
No, I've always wanted to. That theater seems really cool. I've always wanted to see, if I'm ever in LA, see something there.
Jim, I'm curious, since you know what my favorite movie is, what is your favorite movie?
He has
good luck.
For the record, if it's hard to answer, that's how I was before seeing Zootopia.
I have seen Zootopia, but I have a hard time. Yeah, I can't come up with.
Can you even do a top 10?
No, probably not.
Jim is one of the
That's
biggest
how I
movie
was
buffs
before I saw
ever.
Zootopia. I don't know what it is with this movie. It did it to me.
There was a lot of times where I was asked on Friday when I went to this thing, and I just kept listing things, and they were like, "Oh, okay." I usually just say I like the chase of just seeing new stuff. Is kind of my favorite thing. It's not my favorite movie, but I like seeing all sorts of movies. To me, that's cool. And if I had a favorite one, almost that feels like it would answer a question, and I'd lose motivation. I'd just be like, "Well, I've seen the best."
Be like the Joker without the Batman.
Yeah, it's like I need. It's my Batman because I'm a Joker. Anyway, let's move on.
For me, I'm kind of excited about this because I haven't had a movie that's done this to me ever. And
no, it's exciting to have a movie you get obsessed with, and you're just like, oh
Yeah.
my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's just like it is a lot of fun.
it's nice to have a movie also that I'm like, wow, I might legitimately see merchandise for this movie, as opposed to some movies that I like really like, and it's like, no one knows these exist, but hey.
Yeah.
Must be the money. If you want to go and get a plush with me and then go see a stinking movie, oh, why do I buy this way? Hey, must be a furry.
Did you
Oh my
did you
fucking
make
God.
that up? Is that real? You just made that up?
Where was
That-
that news line?
Saber, drop what you were doing and make a music video for that.
I was holding my
Just whatever video you're working on, forget it. That is $1 million idea right there.
Has Jim seen my music parody?
I don't
Am I
think I have.
everything?
I was about to watch my
You
first
all
video
just
by you.
listen, all right, guys. For me and Paleo, we're like, okay, Jim is Paleo's child, and you're my child race, and we're gonna have a play date with our kids, and we're gonna have to play, and we're just all like, we're building a sandcastle.
No, I will check out your channel probably tomorrow while I'm eating breakfast. It'll be
I'll
my
have
breakfast.
to check out yours as well during
Oh,
breakfast.
you all should totally subscribe to each other, and most of all, subscribe to me.
Nobody subscribes.
Let's do
to
some
you.
Q&A.
Okay. Roy Villanueva asks, what was your favorite old show that was on Cartoon Network?
Well, it's not that old, but you know what? Mystery Incorporated was pretty fucking good. I miss it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say
Powerpuff Girls for me. Though I'm not sure if he's asking like old show as in old show that they replay.
Oh,
on
when
Cartoon
they
Network?
used to just play Hanna-Barbera and stuff
Yeah,
back in the day.
I'm not sure if he's asking that or if he's asking.
See, none
just,
of those shows were like good though. I mean,
I
that's
agree.
that's the thing.
Well-
They weren't good. I just liked them because it was like cool to see.
Oh,
They
well,
have laugh tracks, guys.
I wasn't
People
thinking
laughing.
Hanna-Barbera though, because they also had Warner Brothers and MGM stuff.
That's true. That's true.
But if that's the case, I'd say Tom and Jerry because I love.
Jim,
Tom.
I'm
Oh
so
yeah,
happy
they
that you
still
said
air
that.
at 6 a.m.
They do.
Yeah,
Oh,
sometime.
Oh man,
What?
there are random things in life that people just remember and will never forget. And one for me was back in middle school. There's this one guy in my class named Nathan Champion, and he was this big redneck guy with red hair, and he's like 6'4", and he's just, a budding athlete. And one day in class, we're talking about what scares us the most, and he said, "I'm terrified when I see Scooby-Doo on at night." And he goes, "I don't know why, but it freaks me out." And to this day, I have never forgotten that. I'm like, I just imagine some big athlete, Scooby-Doo on television.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you?
Wow, that's
It
interesting.
is a bit of an unnerving show. Like,
Yeah, the original. Yeah, it is the original.
yeah.
Is. Oh, so someone asked me this question, and I don't understand what it means. So I'm just gonna do this one and then do a real question. Someone just asked me. So Daniel Metallic said, "Is Montreal confirmed?"
Oh no, it's leaking.
Don't know
It's
what that
leaking
means.
into this podcast.
And then it says Montreal #POS Podcast, which I don't understand what that means.
That's our lovely viewer, Daniel.
What does that mean?
We don't know.
Oh, okay.
We have no idea.
I don't know why I'm involved. Anyway, okay.
Welcome to the show, Jim. Happy to have you.
I mean, I would like to go there, but that's cool. Anyway, so Oziel asked all three of us, what about the alarm in Rogue One? Rogue One doesn't feel good, or it just ruins the trailer.
Oh yeah, the alarm in the teaser.
See, I like the alarm because that's like the Death Star alarm. Like, I thought that fit really well. But apparently, a lot of people really hate it.
I haven't seen the trailer for Rogue One.
Oh, you should.
If I was a musician,
I'm not that excited about this movie, but I also haven't seen the trailer for it.
I mean, it cuts in. It connects to Zootopia also.
Yeah.
What? Why hasn't anyone told me this?
I mean,
look this up.
Jenny. Is it Jenny Hops?
No,
Very, very
Jackie.
good. So
Jackie.
you both are great. Yes, yes.
She
Jimmy Hops.
Jessica.
Jessica Hops.
Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit. Yeah.
Anyway, she's the detective and she helps them get the plans. It's really he's watching it right now, isn't he?
Many bunnies die to get us this information.
Yeah, but they're kind of disposable. They have a lot of them. So.
Well, see, then if they want to do a sequel to Rogue One, it'll be about getting the plans to the second Death Star, and then they can do a third one for the Force Awakens Death Star.
It never stops.
I have a question here from Jaden Kugzeg. I was at Redbox and saw a low-budget CGI Pinocchio movie. Have you seen a weird DVD at Redbox? Or I guess anywhere. Because
I've seen some, actually.
There's a Cars spin-off out there.
What's it called?
I can't remember, but I just remember looking at it going, can it possibly be better?
I've seen one that's kind of like Cars, where it's like trains. It's like
maybe that's what it was.
Wait, since you're into actual things with Cars, was Cars like super disappointing? Because did you want it to be good or no?
All right, buckle down, Jim.
Okay, hold on.
Because I like that was such a genuine question to me. I actually love. This is where he goes, oh, this guy's opinion of movies just went down.
No, I'm because you know something. You come from a different perspective, so I'm sure you were excited.
I loved the Cars movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed both of them, but the first one I loved, and the thing I loved about it is that it took so many little details that, as a racing fan that I grew up with, that I'm like, wow, they actually put the rubber pellets on the track as they're driving by, what we call marbles. I'm like, they included that detail. And there were a lot of like jokes that I don't know if everyone got. Yeah. And sometimes they're like, oh, that was a joke? Okay. That killed me. And so Cars, I actually thought was I thought it was a brilliant movie. I'm surprised they made it in a way, because it feels very, I guess it has a very direct audience, like the NASCAR audience or whatever, the racing audience. Or the second one kind of worked on expanding that a little bit to all motorsports. But yeah, I actually really enjoy that movie. I stand up for that movie when people like my dear father, Saber Spark, it's all over it. But yeah.
Wait, you're the guy who, if you and Saber fused together, you'd be Chris Pratt, right?
Yes, I only refer to him as my father because he said that were the kids meeting at the sandbox.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? I just remembered that Tumblr post, and now I can, looking at the Skype chat, I see it. Anyway, sorry.
Sweet.
But no, that's interesting, because I wondered that even when I saw it. I was like, I don't know much about cars, because I like Vanishing Point and certain car movies, but I like them for non-car reasons. So, okay, that was interesting. Cool.
Yeah, so like from my perspective, I love that movie. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. It's actually,
from my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Well, I was gonna say like another movie that can fall under this banner is Talladega Nights, and yet that one was on the other spectrum, because that movie actually pissed off a lot of NASCAR fans because
because it's really satirical.
We ain't that dumb.
But the thing is, what makes it so funny to me is how true so much of it was. I was like people are laughing, but this isn't a joke. Like when they cut to a commercial break in the middle of the wreck, I'm like, no. Like some people will easily claim that kind of stuff happens. So I on both ends, I thought both movies were brilliant.
Yeah. My dad likes Talladega Nights.
No, that's funny. By Oscar winner Adam McKay.
Oh.
From The Big Short made Talladega Nights.
I did not know that.
Yeah, true story.
Saber, you got a question?
Let me see. Do you wish, this is from ex Seinfeld fan 92. Do you wish for a Zootopia adventure game similar to Sam and Max, aka the original ZED duo?
See, I would like an open world Zootopia game.
Yeah, though,
like Grand Theft Auto, but with Zootopia.
Yeah, I would like that.
Oh my God, Disney!
If you don't know what Sam and Max is, it's basically like a detective point and click game which would work really well with a concept like Zootopia with Judy and Nick.
That would work well too.
Yeah.
This, I mean, it's probably not a surprise, but this movie has me by the wallet as far as like, if it comes out with a good,
if it comes out with a game,
game or something, I'm gonna probably be like, give me.
Yeah.
I think most people will. There's a lot of love for it. Right?
Yeah.
It's doing like super well. It continues to do really well.
You'll when you see my Zootopia versus Frozen video, you'll be able to see how it's tracking with or against Frozen. So
well, interesting. Could I answer one, or is that not cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about box, this kind of works in, but not at all. From Alec Greer, or Greer Alec as he is on Twitter, he said, "Have you heard the boss dominated Batman v Superman during its opening weekend?" Which I assume means
by $50,000 or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge domination, but the one thing that's interesting about the Batman and Superman box office is the second weekend. If you look at Furious 7, which was the last Easter movie, the weekend after Easter, it fell tremendously as well. So these dips are rather extreme, but they're not out of the ordinary. But it does look like this weekend kind of showed that Batman and Superman might not break $1 billion, which is really
I was really surprised, actually, because I was I've been very closely watching Zootopia. Yeah,
Sorry. It's just funny at this point.
Good. It's only going to get depressing later on.
Okay.
Is that I was surprised at the Easter box office weekend. I've never really paid attention to it like I have, say, the Christmas one. I know that's a much bigger time for movies.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that Easter typically is actually kind of a drag for movies during that weekend, because even referencing Zootopia, they're like, typically the weekend after Easter is a good one for animation movies. I was like, oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I noticed it was kind of, maybe.
I read that somewhere. That's.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with it, but the only thing that's weird about Easter weekend in particular is that you have Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, huge drop off because everyone's doing Easter stuff. Mm-hmm. So like people kept saying like Batman and Superman like completely fell apart that Sunday, but it's like, yeah, but not really if you look at what that weekend is, but animation, I mean, I think Zootopia did pretty well over Easter because you can't take a kid to see Batman and Superman, which is its biggest fault. I mean, technically you could, you might have to because they're like begging to, but like it's not like a kid-friendly movie like Zootopia is, Especially like younger kids, you can't take them to see Batman and Superman the way you can with Marvel, So like you're gonna go, let's just go see Zootopia again. So I think that's in Zootopia's favor.
I think what the reason there's such a boost, like this is just a guess from personal experiences, I think the reason there's such a big boost that shows up also the weekend after is I think movie tickets are kind of a typical Easter gift. Like it sounds funny, but that's
not
Easter
a bad theory.
So weird.
Well, that's the thing is like for me, that's what the Easter Bunny used to bring me would be like some movie tickets, and I'm really like, sweet, now I can
never
go
got
see
movie tickets.
Well, okay,
You aren't a Christian. The bunny only visits people who are going to hell.
So let's see. Batman versus Superman. I'm looking at the numbers for the weekends. It dropped 69.1% its first weekend.
Yeah.
It dropped 54.5% this weekend. So it's still
it's dropping pretty rash. I mean, it's got to make it's really going to fall this weekend with Jungle Book.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to just keep falling. And you know what? Okay, you know what's weird about The Huntsman's coming out? And I keep in my mind thinking, like, that's so weird. Chris Hemsworth has 2 movies coming out because Civil War is coming out.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself, he's not in Civil War, Jim.
Yeah.
Stop thinking that. Like, and I can't.
What if it's a surprise? Thor just comes out.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a cameo, but he's
still in his Huntsman outfit. He's like, oh!
No, he's wearing the glasses. He went total nerd during Ghostbusters.
He went total geek.
Oh, yeah. No, he said,
geek.
I've seen him say interviews like this past week, like, I'm seriously not in Civil War. Like, they didn't have any place to put me. you know, and it's like, of course he's not, but I can't accept it. I'm like, every time I see a Huntsman poster on the subway, I go, that's so weird. Hemsworth has 2 movies. Huh, okay. Like, I just haven't gotten over it in my own mind.
All right. Ozzy All asks, what are your favorite Robin Williams films?
You know what one I watched after he died? Not to bring the room down. Is
it the one where he died?
Drop the bass.
No, it's about. It's called World's Greatest Dad. It was by Bobcat Goldthwait, directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, who's one of Robin Williams' best friends, and it's about a guy who his son killed himself by accident, and his son was like the worst person ever. He was like a horrible piece of shit, and so then he didn't want his son to like just have died by well, it was an accident, but I won't ruin that part. But he writes this amazing suicide note, and it like takes off and becomes this inspirational thing, and he has to like he starts getting literary fame off of his kid's suicide note. And it's like this weird movie, but it was actually pretty cool. And yeah, so that's one I at least watched when he died. I think my favorite's probably like Aladdin or Dead Poet Society, or I think that's it.
Yeah, I like Aladdin.
I'd say Mrs. Doubtfire, just because that
yeah.
movie.
Anyway, sorry.
I think that would be my answer.
Saber, what about you?
I like.
Please say Ferngully.
No. I mean, I'm gonna go and say Aladdin. I'm gonna be generic and say Aladdin because that's the one where I feel like at the end when he hugs Aladdin, that really got me. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like I saw that recently during Christmas with my nieces, and he's like, I'm gonna miss you, Al. I'm like, oh man, Robin Williams is gone.
It was kind of an eerie-ish moment, not like oh god conspiracy, but just kind of like sad. The movie, I think he'd already passed away when it was still in theaters, or maybe before it even came out. I don't remember, but it was the newest Night at the Museum.
Yeah.
And he kind of had like a parting speech there, and you just like sit there and you're like, damn.
You know what's interesting though is I learned more about Teddy Roosevelt recently. Man, that guy is a piece of work.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. I love Teddy Roosevelt.
He's great, and he's also awful. Because you got this guy, and it's one of those things where during his time, yeah, he's kind of status quo, but if you brought him to today, he'd make the most diehard conservative be like, "That's a bit much, Teddy. You might want to calm down." Like
he was like if you read his parts of his biography, he sounds like a superhero.
He wanted to. That's the way he somebody in his office even or his cabinet said, "We have a 6-year-old for president," because this guy, he's like, "I'm gonna be a cowboy," and then he left he left his family, or he left New York at the age of 6. You know, this guy who's got asthma went out to the West and he beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, he was like this scrawny kid who always got sick, and then he becomes this muscular, like super. It's crazy.
It's like One Punch Man in real life, where he's like, I'll just do a bunch of sit-ups and I will exercise so hard that my asthma goes away. It's like, how? And he's the kind of guy where he's like, it's all about war. I mean, he had a speech where he said, like, we went in front of a bunch of ladies, and he said, you guys are pretty much brood mothers. Like, your job is to give birth to soldiers to die for America. And they gave him a standing ovation.
Wow.
That
different times.
And on that note,
God bless America.
Did you want to go?
Oh, no, you can go ahead.
Okay,
Right,
so not to bring up this is this person's Twitter, so not to bring up another podcast on this podcast, but the person known as Pizza Party Podcast, or PPP Fandub, asked Paleo and myself Do you think Disney will ever release the unaltered trilogy on Blu-ray, or are they just going to keep it for themselves?
I'd hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope they do also. I think they have to wait a bit for them to get the rights to the original, because Fox has the rights to that one right now.
Yeah.
And I think Lucas didn't. There were rumors that Lucas asked that they not do it, but right now the only way to get the originals is to see it in letterbox in 4:3, which isn't a full TV basically.
Or you can see the fan made theatrical cut that they put together.
Yeah, but I want, like, they need to make a real good version. They can
Yeah.
keep messing with them as long as they let us have the original cuts. I think that's fair. You know.
Brian Corbett asks, "What dinosaur do you want to see in the Jurassic World sequel?"
Maybe. No, it's gonna be dumb. Never mind.
No,
I want to see.
I want to see John Goodman.
Yeah, I'm like,
I want to see.
I want to see a Therizinosaurus. Here, I'll post it in the chat so you guys can see.
Popular choice there.
Oh
Whoa.
wow,
That's
those
cool
look
looking.
cool.
Yeah,
that is-
it's an herbivore
Like
that
claws.
has claws.
Wolverine.
oh.
It's really cool looking. Can I actually really understand that like dinosaurs and birds had a connection in evolution?
Yeah,
They did it.
I mean dinosaurs are pretty diverse. Do. Saber, you got another one?
Let's see. We got one from Jaden Kuzkik who says, "What are your favorite early 2000 cartoons?"
Early 2000?
Yeah.
I like Teen Titans was like a huge. I was so into that.
Yeah.
So I have to say that one.
I really need to rewatch it, but My Life as a Teenage Robot. It's a good one.
Teenage Robot. For me, I'll have to say.
SpongeBob.
That's
Yeah, I guess it can be
Yeah.
it can count as an early 2000s one,
I think
even though it came out in '99. But yeah,
Oh.
or '98.
Last Airbender.
I think it was
Last Airbender.
99. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Invader Zim too. Early 2000s.
I'm sad that never had a conclusion. I wonder if the Urkins ever actually got to Earth.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think the invasion ever happened? Do you think Zim ever? Do you think Zim and Dib ever work together again, or become friends, or is Zim too prideful for that? Both of them. Okay, fine. You guys. Damn.
What
I
what
don't
is
know,
Invader
anyway.
Zim, Saber? What is this a show?
Shut up. Next question. Next
Oh,
question.
this is something. Calico Plus asks thoughts on Uncle Grandpa being canceled.
Oh right.
Really? It's getting canceled? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
said
Uncanceled?
they said it. There was going to have like 2 more seasons, like they were going to have a season 4 and season 5. But actually, what they really did, because they said this for Steven Universe too, about how they have season 4 and 5, but actually it's just more of season 3. It's really weird.
Yeah, they cut in half. I remember reading about that.
Yeah, so
That's
some
that's
weird
not a
stuff is
big
going
deal.
on.
I don't really care. Uncle Grandpa I never really watched. I only saw it with that Steven Universe crossover. There's nothing
Yeah.
of value being lost.
Yeah.
Damn.
Let me see.
Y'all want to do like a few more questions then wrap this up, perhaps?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so digital anyway, this person asks, have you ever ate too much popcorn in a theater where you got sick, embarrassed in those things? They said embarrassed. Actually, the last time I had popcorn in the theater, I got food poisoning, and I haven't had popcorn at the movies since, and that was when I saw 21 Jump Street. So,
Oh.
Isn't it amazing how you have like one bad experience with food and it just kind of stops it forever?
I mean, it before when I've gotten older, because I do have every movie reward card imaginable. I would get free popcorn things or discounted popcorn and stuff. And I always felt like gross afterwards, like buttery and oily and ugh. And so it was kind of like a welcome thing to give up, you know?
Okay.
Well, how much? I want to know how much popcorn costs for the theater. Isn't it like pennies?
No. Oh, for the theater to make? No, it's like
Yeah.
It's like it is pennies, yeah.
So,
It
okay.
is.
I get what you would call a hangover because I eat so much popcorn
Whoa.
and I feel like shit the next morning. But then I'm like, it was worth it. Because I put so much butter on my popcorn to the point where my piss the next morning smells like butter.
That's disgusting. That's
Hey.
disgusting.
It's a way of life, my friend. We all have our problems. Okay, so that's it for me. Butter.
Here, I found out how much it costs. You want to hear?
How much?
Yes.
All right, a large bucket of popcorn sells for an average of $8.15, and that costs them 90 cents. A large soda sells for an average of $6.31. That costs them 51 cents, and that includes the cup, lid, and straw.
Well,
And
but
a
that
box
also, I want to preface that this is pretty much how they make money
Yeah.
off the theater.
Yes. How? Well, now I'm curious about because the last one's for candies. It's a box of candies, $4.25. That usually costs them $2. So that's the one that's like I guess you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Yeah.
But so how much of a cut do they get from the theater?
Oh, not as much, really. It's
Like
it's
even like 1/100th or what?
sometimes it's like 70-30. Sometimes it's more, depending on the movie. Star Wars, it might have been like 90 or something. It's like it can be a lot, and they only get a certain amount. But what they always make 100% off of is concessions. So that's why they really want you to buy concessions. So sometimes if it's a theater I really like, I'll just get a soda or something just to be like, here, so you're okay.
Dang. Dang, man.
That reminds me, my theater's ticket prices went up by 50 cents.
Yeah. How much are ticket prices up there?
It used to be $8 matinee, $10 full price. So it was a pretty good theater with nice prices. But they went up 50 cents now, so they're $8.50 and $10.50.
I don't want to tell you what prices are where I am, and I'm sure Ace doesn't want to tell you what prices are where he is either.
Yeah.
You'll start to
That is-
cry.
Saber, how much are they where you are?
I don't know.
No.
I don't see movies enough to even recall. $9. I don't know.
Mine's about to hit 16. It hasn't
Oh,
yet though.
jeez.
$16?
That's a lot.
That's why you have the
For
movie
a
pass.
regular movie?
Yep. We don't do
That's
matinees
insane.
really in New York.
That's
They don't
retarded.
Okay, you guys have it a lot worse. Like for us, it's like 12.
Oh shit. Oh, damn.
16. That is ridiculous.
It's
Yeah,
about
that's insanity.
$15.50 right now. And that's
You chose
just
the
regular.
wrong state to be a movie reviewer in, man.
Yeah.
But he gets to see all the limited releases in New York.
I mean, sometimes I'll see a 14, but I have Movie Pass, so I only pay about, I think it's up to 40 now, but I don't have much.
Oh, wait
I don't
up.
pay.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
We'll do
Cadet
one more
Redshirt.
question.
Yeah, the Cadet Redshirt asks, is there an no hashtag to get questions? Well, I guess if you want a hashtag, you can get POS Podcast. It says also I know you were upset that POS Podcast doesn't have fan art. What would you like? I don't know. Whatever.
You are upset? I didn't know this.
Yeah, because we never get much fan art, but these guys do on their
Yeah.
podcast, and they have less
Cadet
viewers.
This cadet red shirt is awesome.
Oh, well, you can't control who makes fan art, man.
Yes, I can.
Whoa.
Don't you tell me what I can't
Whoa.
control.
Damn, Paleo.
Whoa. But,
Okay.
whoa, Paleo has to calm down.
I was gonna end on this one.
Okay.
Q&A question from IU fan. Favorite Hitchcock movie?
Probably North by Northwest, because that one's the most fun.
Yeah, it is pretty fun.
I mean, I do like Psycho. I mean, but Rear Window's up there for me.
Yeah, I think Rear Window is probably my favorite.
But like, I probably have seen North by Northwest the most because it's like anytime it's on and I'm watching TV, I'll watch the whole thing because it's like it's Hitchcock at his most fun, and he's not like a fun
Yeah.
actor necessarily. Also, I'm sure there's one I'll think of later. I'm like, damn it, Vertigo's really
Yeah.
good. I mean, there's so many, That's a good question. Whoever asked that.
All right. Are you guys
I guess that's
ready?
it.
I don't know my Hitchcock films that well, so I know I've seen Psycho.
Connecting.
What'd you say?
I like the one with Will Smith.
That's Hank. Oh, Saber. You never know what he's going to say.
That sounded like Mike Bernstein a lot.
All right.
Good.
Guys ready to head out? All
Yeah,
right,
yes.
guys. Oh, by the way, I was thinking about having a podcast next week because when is BabsCon?
2 weeks.
So
Oh.
the 23rd.
I'm gonna be running out of time next week probably.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do next week. Sorry.
Okay. So. Yeah. Anyway. So whenever the next podcast is, we'll see you. So I just gave up. So see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.